back to another weather forecast. In this video, we will be tracking the tropics, discussing another heat wave, and taking a look at the long range outlook. But of course, it is summer, so we're going to start off with the mosquito meter. I have it at a high risk of mosquitoes tomorrow, or I'll be forecasting a high amount of mosquitoes outside because it's going to be a little bit warmer and it hasn't rained in a while. It's not torture, so it could be worse, but still try to avoid them at dawn and dusk during um, their usual meal times. And looking outside right now, we have some upper level clouds moving in. It's a couple cumulus clouds starting to fade away. And right now, as the sun is starting to set, and waking up tomorrow, we will see 67 degrees in downtown Greenville with temperatures rising to 90 degrees at GSP. So, a warmer day, we're going to be slowly climbing with those temperatures, and I'll get to that in a moment. But right now, we're going to start with the tropics. We have two areas of interest plus Tropical Storm Alberto. They're close to making landfall in Mexico. So, disturbance number one here, east of the Bahamas. This has a 20% chance of forming, not a very high chance. And on the models, this is really just looking like some showers and thunderstorms for us here in the southeast, which we do need because of the lack of rain we've had. But nothing much is going to come out of the system, probably. And disturbance number two here, this hasn't formed yet. This is forecast to form by the weekend. And this has a 30% chance, at least as of right now, for forming. And right now, taking a look at Alberto, we have some tropical storm warnings in Texas and Mexico. As you can see, this blue outline along the coasts of these areas, that is where tropical storm force conditions are occurring. And this big yellow blob is showing us where winds are higher than 40 miles per hour. And it is a large wind field at that. And as you can see, most of that wind is to the north of the center, which is this little X right here of the storm. And that is mostly why it hasn't become a tropical system until today. And that's why it stayed a little bit weaker, because the wind and storms are not located in the center, and that's what a tropical system needs to strengthen. And as you can see, this is gonna head straight for Mexico here, moving west as a weak to possibly mid-grade tropical system, depending on how much more energy it can gather before making landfall. And looking at the satellite right now, we have that area of interest and Alberto. This is the one east of the Bahamas. Not much of a spin, but there are some showers and thunderstorms there. And then Alberto here, and let me actually change the color here for you. The center is right in here, and they'll be heading west towards Mexico. You can see those showers and thunderstorms creating flooding problems in Texas and northeastern Mexico. And that is stretched along most of the Mexican coast as well. And looking at the simulated radar from the European model, you have this low pressure heading into Mexico, bringing moisture along with it. And then that weak low system east of the Bahamas, giving us some showers and thunderstorms in the southeast coast, but nothing much out of that. And then once that starts to fizzle out, we get another system here in the southwestern Gulf, just as Alberto did, and then starts to gather up some strength, but not much, and then makes landfall in Mexico around the same area as Alberto and fizzles out as it hits the mountainous regions. And after that, things get uncertain for they get uncertain, and we don't know what will happen after that. Okay, looking at the heat index for the next few days, I'm gonna move this here. So tomorrow, this is 1 p.m. The European is forecasting mid 80s. The hardest part of the day is between 4 and 5, so this could be a little bit warmer by that time frame, but not as hot as what we're going to see here going into next week. By Friday, the temperature climbs a little bit more, around 90 degrees, probably by the hottest time of the day. Saturday, 1 p.m., it's already 93 degrees, so probably mid 90s by 4 to 5 p.m. Sunday, even hotter, almost 100 degrees, and touching that there in the southern part of Greenville County by 1 p.m. So getting hotter as the days go on. Monday, 99 degrees at GSP by 1 p.m. early in the afternoon. And then the heat backs off a little bit for Tuesday, and kind of makes a last hurrah here for Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday it looks like it will be a little bit cooler as some showers and thunderstorms enter the picture. And looking at the rain for a week from today, so from now till next Wednesday, it's not looking very impressive at all. GSP probably won't even have a reading. As you can see, there's no number in downtown, and this is looking like less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. So very dry out there. We definitely need the rain here. And let me actually go back. You can see that most of the East Coast needs rain. Here from New Jersey down through the rest of the Southeast, it, only a few tenths of an inch here of rain looking likely for the next week. And because of that, we have the risk for a rapid onset drought or a flash drought, which is a drought that develops quickly. And you can see that along the same areas that aren't receiving rain. Here, South Carolina and North Carolina going to Virginia, the mid Atlantic, along with that risk of excessive heat. And this is for the next 2 weeks. Now, looking at the long range outlook, this is for next week. We got an 80 to 90% chance of warmer than average temperatures concentrated here in Virginia through North Carolina and South Carolina. And most of the eastern seaboard is going to be looking at a pretty decent chance for warmer than average temperatures. So this heat will persist. And looking at next week's precipitation, only about a 33% chance of above normal precipitation. This is for the following week. This is the last week of June, and then the first week of July. Still a pretty good chance of seeing warmer than average temperatures, and looking like we'll have about normal precipitation, which is probably just some pop-up thunderstorms. So to recap, we will be tracking the tropics. Nothing is looking too bad for us. That weak system off of east of the Bahamas looking like it could bring us some showers, but it's not looking like it will become a tropical storm. Alberto will hit Mexico here overnight, and it will continue raining in Texas until then, so make sure to give any family or friends that you know over there a heads up. And that system in the southwestern Gulf that will form by next week, we'll be keeping an eye on that in case that does decide to track towards us, but not looking likely. And make sure you stay safe from the heat because this will get to potentially dangerous levels, especially because of the humidity mixed with the already high temperatures. So that was it, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this weather forecast, and I'll see you all on the next one.